Hey everyone, it's Wednesday, February 20th. I'm a day off, I know. But I had some fun family time yesterday with my 11-year-old niece. And by the time I got done, I was tired and I didn't even make it down to my sewing room. So it's school vacation here in Vermont, at least in the district that I'm working in. And over the weekend, my niece called me and asked if I would make her a Jasmine costume. And I said, sure, I'd be happy to help you make a Jasmine costume. I don't think she asked her mother first. I think she was just happy that I would say yes. However, her mother called me 10 minutes later and said, Abby, don't worry about it. I'm going on Amazon and I'm going to buy the costume. And I said, oh, thank God. I said, because I really didn't want to do it, but I would never tell Maggie no. Um, but that led to asking, me asking her if she would like to go to a quilt shop, if Maggie would like to go to a quilt shop. And Maggie is the only one of my nieces and nephews who's shown any interest in sewing or crafting. So yesterday, the sun was shining. I said, I've got to take advantage of this. I called Maggie. I said, are you doing anything? And she's like, no. I said, do you want to go to a quilt shop? And she's like, yes. So we actually ended up going to Joann's first. They ordered the costumes, the Jasmine costumes, because she's going to be in this play and she's playing Jasmine. They came on Monday, even though it was a holiday. I guess Amazon, has ships through the postal service, even though it's a federal holiday. And with looking at the costumes, the school requires that she not show her midriff. So we had to get a little netting that can be like inserted, or my sister-in-law thinks she might even get her a leotard of the same color and just have her wear that. Anyway, so Maggie and I had a great time at Joann's and looking at the fabrics, and she found a little bundle of fat quarters, and I said, I told her she could, she could buy whatever she wanted, because I don't have any kids at home, so I'm not spending as much money. So I got her a little fabric bundle, and she was all excited, and we picked out the netting, and then on the way home, we stopped at a quilt shop that I really like, and her eyes just bugged open, and I was looking, I know I said I wasn't going to do it, but I did. I've been using K Facet, and I'm finding the way I want my colors set up, it's essentially a rainbow. It starts out green and goes out. I'm finding I'm lacking in purples, which is crazy because purple's my favorite color, and you would think I would have a ton of purples, but I don't. I have a ton of yellows for some reason. I keep buying yellows and browns. So I wanted to stop off at this quilt shop that I know carries a couple K Facets, and I was looking at them and I was thinking, oh boy, I don't want to get fat quarters because I don't use that much. And I asked the woman, what was the smallest I could get, and she said an eighth. And Maggie yells out, Auntie Abby, that would only be like $1.50. I'm like, oh well, that's perfect. So I ended up getting 8/8, which of course is a yard. And then as I'm driving home, I'm thinking to myself, on Sunday, I'm going to a Modern Quilt Guild meeting, and we go by this fabulous quilt shop. It's my favorite one. And she has a ton of K Facets. And I have a friend who's in the guild and also doing the Dear Jane. She's English paper piecing each one. Her blocks are coming out fantastic. Anyways, she's using Kaffe, and I thought, ooh, what if we both got 8/8 and then split them in half and exchange them? So then we could have 16 different fabrics for the price of a yard. So she thought that was just an evil genius idea, and I'm like, that's the way I roll. That's the way I roll. Anyways, so we're gonna get together on Sunday. She'll pick out 8. I'm gonna give her 8 of mine. And I think that's going to be really fun. And, I've been loving this, really loving this. I've had a couple challenges that I've had to work out, like this circle one. This is the third one that I did. I had 2 fails, which is fine because that's how I learn. the first time I did it, I thought, oh, I'll use the Linda Warren learning curve ruler. And I wasn't taking into account that Linda uses a 9 patch to achieve the circle. So I thought, oh, I could use the corner ones and they'll work out. Well, as you can see, it's not quite a circle. And then I said, okay, I'll use Drunkard's Path. And I mean, this was the one that I was going to use. I mean, it came out pretty good, but it was still bothering me that these were like pointy as opposed to circly. So I threw that to the side. So this one, I used my AccuQuilt and cut out a 5-inch circle of the white and the colored, cut them in quarters, and fuse them onto the opposite colors, you know, they're opposites, and kept them bigger. Sewed the circle back together and then squared it up. And I really love how it came out. It's so much better than the first two. So I'm really happy with that. I'm looking through the book and I know there's a few more that I'm going to have to do. And I was thinking about using that method again. There's one that has, instead of the 4 quarters, it has like 8. And I'm hoping that I can use that same thing again. I love doing these blocks now. It's kind of taken over and I really should be working on finishing the t-shirt quilts. 2 of them are completely finished with binding. The third one is quilted and I just have to put the binding on it. My friend I know is on a cruise this week, so I'm buying myself a couple more days. I really should get it done though. There's really no excuse. I did have a heck of a time with the third one. On the border, it was wavy. And I was wondering if it was because when I joined the pieces, I did them on the diagonal like you would do on binding, I guess. And I'm wondering if it was too, being on the bias, whether it stretched out when I sewed it onto the t-shirts, or if it was just because the t-shirts are stretchy that it happened. But I worked it out. I actually ended up taking this one apart and pulled it in a little bit and re-sewed it, and it lays flatter now. So I don't know what it was. It could have been that. So this just needs to be bound, and I'll be so happy to have all 3 of those done. That's it. I mean, I've got a sew day tomorrow, and I'm working on a Linda Warren thing that we did last week for the class. I'm going to finish up the blocks tomorrow. And then my husband's going to a Klondike Derby on Saturday for Boy Scouts. So I think it might have to be another sew day. I did get the rows together on my modern quilt. Now I just have the blocks sewn into rows. Now I have to sew the rows together, and then that quilt top will be done. And other than that, well, I'm sure I got 5,000 other projects going. That's all I've done for now. Have a crafty week. Love your videos. Sorry I haven't been responding to a lot of them. I've been watching them. I just haven't. I'm lazy. Sorry. Talk to you next week. Bye.